better start asking for the check. Our sense of urgency. You've seen it, buy now, only 32 minutes left on the Home Shopping Network, QVC. You see it in ads. Only the first 200 people, stuff like that. It works. I use it all the time. Put a time frame on it, put an amount on it, something. And that leads to scarcity. Only a few of you. So, for example, if we establish the fact that I charge $100,000 an hour, you accepted that fact as a reality. And I said, okay, for 10 of you, and only 10 of you, I'm going to do the same program I'm going to do for $100,000 an hour for only $1,000 an hour. There might be some of you that would say, well, that's a hell of a value, I'm going to sign up for that. But only 10. And if I'm true to my word, I cut it off at 10. And it doesn't matter how much 11 through whatever offers me, the scarcity and the exclusivity remains. How many of you have an American Express card? Why? Because membership has its privileges? Right? How many of you have blue options? Anybody? The revolving credit card from American Express. Did you know that if you don't pay off the full balance and you get an interest charge, and then the next month you pay off the full balance, they still charge you interest on what you had for another couple of months? It's not credit card to make money. They don't even look fine print. But exclusivity, membership has its privileges. That's how American Express marketed for years. And then conformity. Who are we like? Who do we like? Most people will do business with people they know, they like, they feel they can trust, and who are like them. How adaptable are you? How much are you like the people you want to do business with? How much do those people like you? Can you get them to like you? Can you get them to conform to your way of thinking? You may run into a situation where you're making a presentation and the person you're dealing with is very process-oriented and you're results-oriented. And you just can't get them off that dime of being process-oriented. What should you do? You become process-oriented to help move them along. You follow the yellow brick road. You conform to their way of thinking and communicating until you can help them move along. So don't be afraid to do that. So here's how you do it. It's a 3-and-1 process. You make 3 truthful statements in a row. And understand this about persuasion and sales and marketing, whatever. The rule of threes always holds true. The rule of threes is this. The brain remembers best in a chunk of 3. So you make 3 truthful pacing statements in a row. And then you make either a confirming statement or a confirming question. For example, you're here at this conference to learn more about sales and marketing. Is that true? Another reason you came to the conference is to make more contacts. Is that true? That's 2, right? A third reason you're here at this conference is to hear about new ways you can sell your current products. That's 3. Now I make a confirming statement. Then it would be safe to say that this theme of the conference is what brought you here rather than product sales. And you go, yeah. So now I'm starting to influence you because I've made 3 truthful statements and I've made a positive, truthful, confirming statement that is undeniable. Or I can ask you a question after those 3 statements. So is it safe to assume that the reason you're here is to learn how to market and sell your consulting practices better and more effectively? Duh. And all of a sudden, the pacing statements become the foundation for me to persuade and influence you to do business. So, homework. Figure out how you're going to come up with a couple of sets of 3 pacing statements and a confirming statement or question. Now, you don't have to do this. Remember what I said, athletes practice, business people don't. This is the practice part of the program, the more you go home and practice, the better you will be when you're out on the playing field, to use a sports metaphor. But if you just take the notes and you don't go out and practice it, you're not going to get the results. I had a client, came to a marketing seminar, consultant, copious notes. She was riding high. She was in the insurance industry. She didn't know what to do with herself. She had more clients than she knew what to do. And I made a statement during the workshop that said, when you are busy is the time you should market the most. Not when the valley is happening or the pipeline is empty, because then you get desperate. But she didn't listen. And she decided, I don't have to market anything, I'm busy, it's okay. Calls me up and says, okay, Doc, I got a problem. I need your help. What's the problem? Well, remember when you said at the seminar that I should market while I was busy? I didn't. And all my clients left me at the same time. Of course, that would never happen, right? A client would break a contract? No, that wouldn't happen. You know what the contract is worth, right? Not even the paper's printed, but that's another story. So she says, what do I do? So I gave her an idea. I said, do this over the next 2 weeks. She calls me up and says, okay, I want to hire you as my coach and consultant because I just booked more business from your idea than I made all of last year when I was busy. You don't know what the idea was? No. That'll cost you. No. All right, here's what it is. It's the concept of reactivation. Even if the prospect never became a client. In marketing, we have a concept called the moving parade. It means things change. Things change in people's lives, things change in organizational life. Just because they didn't do business with you now does not mean they're not going to do business with you a month from now. So I had set up a script for her, practiced the script, she went out and made the phone calls, and in those 2 weeks, she booked 10 projects. Not bad. Did she have to go out and generate new leads? No, she only had to call people who knew who she was. Not a big deal if you can get it. So reactivation is a great way for you to market your business. Now, I'm going to get really good at asking questions. How many can keep a dialogue going just by asking questions? How many hate your kids for asking questions? Right? Kids ask questions constantly. 2 things you should be able to do as you practice your selling skills. 1, never make a declarative statement. 2, never mention your product or service. So I'll ask you, how many of you think that that is possible? How many of you think it's not possible? How do you stop thinking?